We're on. All right, let's call this meeting to order. There is a quorum. Welcome to guests and public comments. Anyone?
Yes, sir. You know, we've got a bumper crop of kosher this year. I don't know if you've noticed that. I have.
You're gonna do something with it?
No, I don't. I hope when you, whatever you add to your stuff, your ammonium sulfate or folic acid or whatever you do, share with your massive ingredient for me, and wherever I'm at, feel free to spray an extra 5 feet of my field and kill whatever's there, because I don't like the stuff.
No, that kosher is pretty bad.
And your number 16 on there, you know, I think the county would be better spending their money down that area on flood control or figuring out how to keep that water where it's supposed to be instead of a crossover path.
Is that a crossover on home?
Yeah, and I've got to go because I've got a fight with the Central Appraisal District, so I'm not going to stay for the bad news on the water. All right?
Okay, well, Al's got some interesting graphs down here.
No, there's no news.
I'll get that.
He's got some interesting graphs.
I know, actually, it's,
Oh, you don't? You didn't bring in, so.
all right, yeah, I got it.
All right, here we go, minutes. Anything on the minutes? I noticed one little thing. Claudia and I just, it's my regular editorial thing. If you read the last
Which one?
3 items, let me look here, and in our packet, it starts on page 9. It says, A, extension of term of employment agreement for 90 days until a new agreement is approved for the following employees. And the first one is, resolve that the board of directors approve the extension of term of employment agreement for 90 days or until a new agreement for Oscar David Ornelas Jr., General Manager. Well, that doesn't make sense. You need to put right after the last line there, agreement is approved for Oscar. Okay, just make it more of a sentence. If you don't mind, I think it reads a little bit more just clear. And then if you look down on Mary's, same thing. It says 90 days or until a new agreement is approved for Mary Cortez. All right, and then the same thing on until a new agreement is approved for Lisa Aguilar. The last line of her little thing. Okay? Just a little editorial.
Martin should have been an English teacher.
Oh.
That's Renee's job, wait a minute.
No,
Oh, Renee's on there, where's Renee?
where's Renee? He's over there. Okay, that's all I saw on the minutes, just a little cleanup on the language. Anybody see anything else? If not, I entertain a motion.
I think Renee, we should ask Art what his opinion is about Oxford commas, okay?
Never mind.
I'll have to ponder what an Oxford comma is. I don't even know what an Oxford comma is.
You know,
Yeah, we don't need to go into that.
Okay, we won't make it. Larry made a motion that we approve the minutes as corrected. George seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye. Well, then we die. Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, motion approved. Next item.
Mr. ID, we have two sets of minutes.
Two of them.
Oh, we do.
Two sets.
Oh, that's right, we had that second.
There's not much in there.
All right, anybody see anything on those second set of minutes? Thank you.
Second.
All right, Jared made the motion. Commissioner, no, you better not say that. All right, Mike, seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay. Lisa, we get to skip you right now.
Yes.
Mary. How are you doing, Mary?
Good, and you, Mr. Ernie? Good morning.
Morning.
We all made it in with them. Our first report is our monthly investment report. We do not have any investments maturing for this month or the following month. We do have one that's coming in June, which we'll go ahead and reinvest.
Which was that SLG, the 4.11 Treasury.
Correct.
Okay.
At this moment, the treasury is showing for a 1 month at 3.73, a 1 year at 3.64.
3.6. So it's dropping a little bit compared to last time we looked.
And if
Okay,
you notice on the money market account, our rate for that month was 3.61.
361, which is still good, but that's dropped a little bit.
That's dropped
Yeah.
this
It
one.
went up yesterday.
Get it? Okay. All right.
They're expected to go more.
Okay, Mary, continue.
The next is our balance sheet report. The accounts receivable account, 11600. You'll notice the amount has reduced. We did receive the amount of, from El Paso Water that reduced that receivable. What we have pending is a few effluent invoices that went out, as well as some annual licensing and dewatering.
Okay. Gentlemen, you all see anything on your balance sheet? Okay, Mary?
Our following report is our net revenue. I know you had a question regarding the land account for 0101 last month, Mr. Ivy.
Right.
In regards to the difference in what is still pending from our budget. The reason for it being significantly higher is due to the rate increase that had increased from 25 to 30.
Huh. Okay. And that's why people aren't coming in here?
And yes, we also have those who have not made payments yet, and then with the increase, it leaves a significant difference from last year. Last year, we were only under about 54,000, where this month, we're still under
So that's $5
370,000.
increase on the left.
Correct.
I wouldn't have thought that, except that they're looking at those same maps up in the mountains.
Oh, that
They don't wanna pay any money. All right.
I don't.
You don't. Okay. And Mary, now today, the 4202, where it says PSB Lower Valley lease maintenance. And I was trying to remember, what in the heck? Why are we've received a lot more than what we thought.
We received a lot more, but yes, and we'll go ahead and make that adjustment on our first amendment,
Okay.
6 to 7 months out.
So it was a surprise to me. You were kind of thinking it was gonna happen, or?
Which one's that?
It's the lease maintenance.
The 4202, the lease maintenance
Said up the Upper Valley, yeah, from the city.
from the city, PSB and the Lower Valley, yeah.
I don't know, we'll look into that, it's pretty much fixed.
Yeah, but it's up quite a bit. I was just curious.
The leasing of the drains.
That's what I said, well,
Yeah,
I'll look
think
into
it's
that,
the
it's a fixed, it's a CPI adjustment, and we did have some inflation earlier, but that would have been 2 years ago.
Well,
But anyways, I'll look at it.
and it's good for us, so. Figure it out, we'll put it on a few more accounts if we can.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But it shouldn't have changed that much except by the inflation.
These lease maintenance are the $20, the accounting service fees.
Oh, the county service fees,
Correct.
so that's different.
Oh, is it,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, we're looking at the drainage one going like.
could it, yeah, because the
No,
drain,
that,
the drain's 4252, and if you notice, it's quite a bit under our estimate.
they just haven't paid yet,
So nobody's paid yet on that.
I guess, is what.
And the 4252, we
Yeah.
received quarterly payments as we do, for the month of
Oh, yeah,
February,
we did.
84,675.
Okay, all right. All right.
So why are sorry, now you got me questioning so our county service charges is what is higher than it's been historically?
Well, we've been at 20 for the last couple of years.
Right, no, I understand that, but
It was the
What
number
was
of
your
accounts,
question, sorry?
correct?
No, I was on
Since
the
2021.
item number 4202. The lease, it shows Public Service Board and Oro Valley lease maintenance. Year-to-date 6/18, our budget was 348. I was just curious what that would be. That would be that it would come in that much heavier. It's a benefit to us. But it shows that our revenue is quite a bit more than what we were estimating.
Well, 270 is the over budget,
It's
is what you're
over.
saying?
Yeah,
Which is good.
it's good to us. It's
Yeah, no, I understand that part, I'm just saying even that shouldn't change that much, because our leases haven't, the number of accounts we
Accounts,
have
correct.
hasn't changed that much, so we'll have to look into that.
Would that be a mistake?
I haven't yet made that determination. It might be.
Well, and that's the only reason online, if you go down about 10, 4252, if you notice, is
Yeah.
way under
That's
what we
a,
thought.
that's a completely.
But that's a whole different,
Yeah, a whole different thing.
they're not
But
related.
both of those should be relatively stable.
They're not related.
Yeah, they pertain to our quarterly billing with El Paso Water, which is the 84,675,
Okay,
and 200,000 on top of that for any maintenance on.
okay, well, that.
Maybe more of an issue if the mistake was, if there was a mistake, it would have been made in the budget, not on the sheet there, so I'll go back and
Okay.
we'll see what we did, 'cause Mary and I try to,
Yeah, we
she's
don't
pretty
want,
conservative, she doesn't let me put in too many high numbers in the budget, so.
and we don't want to give that money back. It's a,
Well, we wanna make sure that.
We wanna make sure
That's a
it's
good
correct,
catch,
yes.
we'll look at that, those,
Okay.
both of those accounts are relatively stable in terms of their long-term income.
okay. And what is? That's about all I was noticing. Anybody else got anything on the net revenue charts? Okay,
Next is our $1,000 check report. For line item 16 to Whitecap, those items were used for the item
15 and 16?
yes. No, just 16.
Oh, just 16. I don't know.
And of course, items lines 11 through 14.
Okay.
Do they step up their trucks, Pete?
Joe, well, we're done with them, but, yeah, no, we had a lot of, inconsistency with them. Their material's real good, but they're just not very reliable on showing up on time.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Really, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's very surprising because they've always been one of the better.
I was ordering a total of, I believe it was 12 trucks per day. I was lucky if I would get 8.
Huh.
Wow.
Maybe Stanley.
I was gonna say, is Stanley still around or is he out on the ranch?
No, he's still around, but, I think, what one of the guys told me is that they got this big project going up in Santa Teresa. So they dedicated a lot of those trucks up to that job site. So I was just getting whatever was available.
Whatever was that.
Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay, that is surprising. Good, Joe. They're usually pretty good. Okay.
I know I keep asking this, but number 40, Cal, that's a big number on the.
That's a pass-through from El Paso Water. It's a contract was supposed to
With
pass.
pass.
So El Paso Water, as El Paso Water came into the bureau,
Oh,
then it
okay.
came to us. Or they just turned around and write the check, they make the check to us and then we send it to them.
Two above that is number 38, the TCEQ. We are paying them for,
For the privilege of using state's water.
that's what I was, yeah. What they're calling it. Right?
We're in Texas.
Yeah, we are in Texas. Oh, their name's not on the permit though, is
They issued the permit,
it? They issued the
they administered the permit.
permit. In other words, okay,
And right below the one that Art just talked about, the dam maintenance for the third quarter, 2026. That went up 5 times. Is it, do they only, if it's
the equivalent to last year's third quarter? Shouldn't it be the same? I brought my book from last year.
No, it varies every year.
Depends what breaks.
Yeah.
Was that what due to
No.
the?
Maybe
The shading and yeah, so they're, yeah, they vary, they gave us an estimate, a projected estimate at the beginning, and, you know, if, so we pay in advance, but, if they credit us if it's, you know, if it wasn't what they expected.
Yeah,
But
I think it was about 200,000. We got a share, we only pay a small share.
Sure.
It varies every year.
Okay. And the federal revenue share, I didn't see the matching one for last year. Is it just not done at the same time? That one's 153,000.
That must have shown up on it in January of last year.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, so I pulled this other book out for nothing?
No, it was your own edification,
Cross-check.
and it helped us too.
Yes.
Right, all right.
Helped
We
us.
don't wanna ask why it wasn't done in January this year. That's for me.
I don't say anything unless it's in our favor. That looked like it was.
Well, we were in the process of reviewing some of the stuff, so we turned in the invoice later than normal.
And
it wasn't
then,
Mary's fault.
and then once payment has been received, then I go ahead and turn around and issue out the
Kurt
payment.
Henry said it went back.
No, I said it wasn't her fault.
Oh.
I didn't say whose fault it was, but they only left one other person, so I'll let you guys figure that out.
So much higher this year than what it was last year.
So you would think that it's more because there's water, so you see more exposure to the dam?
No, the dam maintenance was, we had a major cleaning operation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a plug.
yeah, the plug, yeah.
It's every 5 years, did you say? that?
Yeah, about every 5 years you're supposed to do that.
Hmm.
And we only pay, but our percentage of that is pretty small, right?
I believe it was 42.5%,
That's,
or is that,
That's an Elton
EPA?
Butte, yeah, it depends on, it's a flood, there's flood control pays for a lot of, like, Caballo's a flood control dam too, and so we get a lot of the payment for the way it's split is how much we use it as opposed to how much it's used for flood control. And there was a lawsuit a long time ago that settled those numbers, so I was thinking we only had like on that, we only paid less than 20% of the cost for, but I'm not sure. It's in their reporting to us. Jay was at those meetings, he was,
It varies, but yeah, I think
it's a complicated
10, 15.
equation.
So it wasn't that 5743 stuff.
No, so it's a whole different, Caballo Dam's a different type of dam than
Yeah,
Elton Butte, and it's under different rules, and there was a lawsuit, you might remember, our called the Line Weaver lawsuit, the first ones I did with Jim. It set those rates, and they're very complicated.
You remember?
I don't remember.
No, I don't.
They usually don't remember the name Line
Look at
Weaver,
him.
'cause that's the name
I
of
don't
it.
remember.
That's a famous name in the
I might have been here,
reclamation.
but I don't remember. Lion Weaver. yeah.
Line Weaver.
I heard Jim use those words
Yeah,
quite
those
often.
are Jim's
Now I'm
scare
hearing
words.
Jim's scare words.
Historically, Line Weaver,
That pusillanimous, was one of Jim Spears' words.
and anyways, that litigation, which would have been in 92 or 93, was settled the rates that we pay for different
92,
aspects of the
90.
dam.
That's before my time, 92, 90. Okay, let the record show what they
Sorry, you're dating me, man, it's making me feel bad. So. Hey, Pete, you and I are the last ones.
That's right, Robert's gone. He even bailed out on us, okay.
So on the item 45 Xerox, how many machines do we have? Is it that we don't own the machines, we just kind of?
We lease all our printers as well as the main copy machine.
Like what, 10, 20?
26.
So
Or
it's
am I
a pretty
taking
good
photos?
deal, like $100 each. I'm just trying to get a feel for it.
Well, we actually, if you
Yeah,
wanna go.
that includes, maintenance and it includes copies, so there's, a whole list of stuff that comes with the package.
But it's better to lease than to purchase, right?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm assuming.
it also includes a cartridge as well,
Okay,
which that can be expensive.
and you're happy with these people?
Yes.
Yes.
We go out and get quotes, I mean, they said, we got quotes from various spectrum, various vendors, but yeah, especially the main machine, with all the tax statements and whatnot, they go through,
Through
Lot of
quite bit
toner.
work.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's ready to move on after a few years, so. Yeah.
I was wondering what the one fifty, right?
Well, hell, man. Feel good now. Wow.
Okay, Barry, let's go on. I think, anybody got any more questions?
Well, I have a
on
couple more on the GC.
Okay, yes.
Only because you brought up Joe. So how does GCC Sun Materials, I mean, are they pretty good on just the shotcrete, is that way they, or what's their, or how do we, I mean, we just go off a bid and then right now?
Yeah, I mean, Pete, and, you know, so we were using, GCC on the west side of the, Montoya lateral. The material had been coming less than desirable, to say the least. We popped a few hoses, but I think the trucks were on time, so it's.
And not even at that, you know, we still didn't have the trucks that we asked for.
Okay.
But I believe the reason we went with Job was because their pricing, Job actually came in cheaper than GCC.
Yeah,
GCC, their pricing went up, from
But at the end of the day-
188 to 200 and some odd dollars, from one project to the next.
Gotcha.
And Job was actually cheaper. And actually Job's material is very good.
It's very good.
It's very good material, yes.
At the end of
Just
the
the
day-
scheduling is bad,
But isn't it, you look for service at the end of the day?
we
You
do.
prefer service.
We do, and right now, we're using GCC to finish up the project that we had awarded to them on the Montoya A,
Right.
and their material's now much better. I had a
Okay.
couple of talks with the rep, and they've increased the
So
material.
the
We had a lot
bar
of big
went up a
rock.
little bit to the threat of,
Yeah, there was just a lot of mixed rock with it,
gotcha.
but they've gotten much better.
and, obviously, we've got labs, taking cylinders, and, obviously, the goal is to have the 4,000 PSI, mix that we request, and have the brakes at 28 days to meet that 4,000 PSI. And actually, both, entities we have some breaks at 5,000 to 6,000, so that's great.
That's great.
We're getting some good quality concrete. But the problem, or the difficulty with the shotcrete is the supplier needs to designate a certain set of
Quality.
the trucks for our job.
Right.
They can't intermix them with the ready mix because of the size of the aggregate, and obviously, they gotta supply the entire city, so, they don't wanna compromise providing, trucks, but I mean, they cannot use our trucks on other jobs, so it's gotta be the same amount of trucks, because, they clean them, before they start the job, they gotta clean all that other larger aggregate that gets stuck in the drum.
Right.
So, obviously, when we're busting hoses left and right, and they're not giving us the same trucks that have been designated just for shotcrete, so they send it to the one that had ready mix previously, and then we get, so, and that's where I think, in order for them to just provide the continuous service of trucks, they gotta designate a certain amount, so they say maybe we'll designate 5 trucks, and then they're just going back and forth, so that delays the arrival of the trucks, but, I mean, we're up there, Mercy.
I guess and no, I look at it from the standpoint of, price is not necessarily the best, because every time you bust a hose, you have, I don't know, 10 people standing around waiting for the hose to get fixed. So if you do all the man hours that it took to stand around to get the other truck to show up, that's a hefty little price tag, and if you multiply it times the times it busts, it could be a hefty price tag. At the end of the day, if you turn around and give them what it cost us, oh, by the way, I'm just gonna charge you for what everything that you cost us, you'd be surprised how they'd be more attentive and give you the service that you need as far as a rep that you asking for, because at the end of the day, it's our money, it's money that's gonna cost us.
Absolutely, and I mean, they heard it from Pete, they got their ear full, and, I made some calls, but no, Pete's ahead of us, he's got an extra hose on site every time. Okay, yeah, no, there's not a lot of downtime, they switched that guy out and we're.
Yeah, and I did bring it up to their attention that as long as that material keeps showing up the way it is, I was gonna start charging them for the hoses that we're losing.
Exactly.
Not only that, but next month, you guys are gonna be seeing a charge that, is coming in for repairs on the shotcrete machine. Because
Perfect.
the shotcrete machine actually got damaged because of some of the material that we received. And, so we're looking at.
I'm glad you're up top of that.
I think it's about a $4,000
Yes.
bill that's coming in.
Good, because I sense that, because the shotcrete is a very specialized,
Yes.
trade, let's call it. And,
Yeah.
and the thing is that everything's gotta click right, and if you get bad concrete, it's gonna snowball to throw everything all out of kilter, and it's gonna
Yes,
cost.
and not only that, if you don't get your trucks when you schedule your trucks, that means that machine is sitting there, with concrete in it until the next truck comes in. By that time, it could dry up on us, and then also causes us a lot of problems on the plugs.
Good job, Pete, and I appreciate you jumping on over that.
You don't get mad at people's feet.
No, I talk to people.
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
just know about Shotcrete, but if you're having that issue continuously, why wouldn't you just flush the hose?
It's a much more complicated thing. Sorry, but because of the protocols, only, we appreciate your comments, but there's gonna be a
Yeah.
time.
Sorry.
We have
I
some
just-
laws that we
yeah.
have to,
Interesting.
yeah, we can't entertain. Pete gets stuck because he's an employee, but but we appreciate, we don't wanna discourage that, so that
Yeah.
you can announce, when the president announces the public comments.
Yeah, on those public comment, but that's okay.
That's a good point. I mean, and I'm sure, Pete, you've gone through enough classes and so forth, that's part of the
Yes.
process. That
Yes.
Everything's a unique case, it's a case-by-case basis, but usually, in the industry that we're in, this is why the shotcrete, the price of cubic yard is usually a little bit higher, because it takes a special tenderness.
So it's quite a bit higher.
For the client. Well, guess what? You're paying me extra, you're charging me extra, I expect that type of service. So this is the give and take that we have to.
Right.
And I know you're on top of that.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's see, no, you're not out yet.
No, I'm not.
I thought you're ready to run, no, not yet.
We
Okay.
have our credit card and our legal and consulting report.
Well, wait, let's make sure, anybody else on the $1,000 checks? Everybody okay? All right, go
Wait,
ahead.
one last one. I did that one. Well, there was one thing about a particular one truck or something. So I guess the questions to Steve, we still have a quorum, or else I would have changed it up there. The Stanley Spring thing,
Yes, sir.
for one truck,
Yes, sir, that's for one of the big 50-ton dump trucks. And the whole springs, bushings, so that consists of springs, bushings, every pins, bolts, the whole thing had to get replaced on. And it is for one truck, one of the big, Peterbilt.
C10 is a big, so.
It's a Peterbilt, yes.
Oh, that's the people.
No, okay.
That truck's pretty old, right? We've had it
I
for a
think
while.
it's probably,
17.
maybe, how much?
17?
Yeah, I think it's 17. That's about almost 10 years.
I remember when it was brand new, when we bought it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So it's about 10 years old now.
That's almost about 10 years old.
Yeah.
We can get the commissioner in here, we can get Bobby in there, and he can tell you exactly when you bought it. Bobby was on the board now.
That was in 2017
Yeah.
when we bought it.
That's not old for a diesel.
Well, for spring.
Tractors.
For the load we put on them, take a beating.
That's it. Is that it? Anybody else? All right, go ahead, Mary.
We have our credit card report.
It's a lot of paper you bought, Jay.
You're gonna see this, and next month some more, we purchased some software for the drum, and some RSV, some cost estimating software.
Cool.
So both of those are on a grant, 50% paid by reclamation.
Oh, okay. That's always good.
And the program that you use ties into the RSVs, doesn't it? The county program?
These are not accounting, these are engineering cost estimates. They don't become accounting until we have budgets and proposals and things.
Because sometimes the RSVs or whatever.
There's no need for it, even if it did. I mean, it is digital, so yeah, we could do it, but Mary doesn't get involved until we finalize the budgets but we use these for bid estimation.
Yes, we're preparing something text on, yeah, some other projects.
They use that as the basis for.
Yeah, the basis. We use that, and we use Corps of Engineers, Pete's familiar with that, we use FEMA tables, three different ones, depending on which job, and who we're dealing with for the grant.
Good.
Okay.
Our final report, if there's no questions on the credit card report, is our legal and consulting fee.
Okay, and that's looking quite a bit better than it did here in recent years. Okay. All right, Mary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lot better than that.
Rose.
Listen, I haven't looked at it. Is it, there's actually good news?
Yes.
I haven't ever looked at
You wanna see it?
it. Karen's got it.
There's enough money for a field trip on there.
Good morning, Rose.
There's no good news on the water, so there might be some good news. Yeah, I know, for us old guys, right?
Our first item, we have a tax report and adjustment.
Hey,
There are 2 adjustments totaling $2.82.
yeah, I saw that, and the only thing I was gonna ask you is, international online payments?
Yes, sir, so the payments came from Mexico, so there's an additional fee when you go online versus the normal 3% plus 30 cents.
It's due to the conversion rate between
Oh,
international
because the
and the
peso
dollar.
and the dollar. Okay. All right. You know, the peso, yeah, seen the peso has really rallied in the last year against the dollar. Huh, okay.
Every penny counts.
So we need a motion to approve those adjustments, do we
Yes.
not?
Yes.
I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the adjustments.
All right, George made the motion.
Second.
All right, Larry seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay,
Thank you.
that was easy.
Our next item is report on public service board assignments, lower valley assignments, and taxes. Do you have any questions?
No, eight tax suits been dismissed
Yes, sir.
or closed?
Totaling $2,032.92.
Okay. No? Ready for the next one?
Yes. Comparison between the 2024 tax assessment versus the 2025. The same time, March 25, we were 92.9429%. Presently, we're at 89.6611%.
Well, I guess, yeah. And Robert's already left, or he could tell us about that $5 increase.
And also, we just recently sent out the liquid notices for the month of March.
Okay. All right, that's very good. Well, there's not much we can do about that, Rose, other than, well, just wait. I guess people will come in if they want the little bit of water it's looking like that we're gonna have.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Thank you, Rose, thank you so much. All right, Jay, I got you under nothing. Now, Blair, you don't have anything? No?
No, sir, thank you.
Al?
Sure. See if I can get the screen to share. I gotta move it over there. Where's the share at?
What's the weather in Austin,
Can you do
Renee?
that, Jay? Click on,
Hot?
yeah, you drag it over.
Yeah, you can drag it over.
Because I can
It's,
just right there,
um,
screen from here.
It's clear and cool, but not as cold as it was the last couple of days. Or
Okay.
just,
Well, the heat's coming, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah. We're gonna make like 80.
Drag a little bit.
90.
That's pretty quick, right?
This weekend.
It's too early. Yeah, I went out and one of my fields, and I got some. It's way early.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, that's good.
That's fine.
Oh, gosh. That's the wrong screen, sorry. So, half of normal.
Yeah, half normal.
We get most of our water out of the Chama, about equal for the upper and Chama. Sanger and Crystal don't get very much. But, you know, if I was to see, we see a little bit higher in the upper, but if, really what I'd like to see is higher in Chama because we get more productive. It runs off a little faster too, less distance to get to it. But
Al, can you explain it? It's not too, because snow water equivalent, we're at 57. That's the one we nearly always look at. Why is the total precipitation 92?
George was bringing it up, you know, we know, and I talked to Larry about it, you know, you guys know we had some rainfall early on, at least down
yeah.
here, but this is really up in the basin where they're measuring rain gauge, and so they had the there. This starts, November 1st is when
Okay.
this is calculated.
On
So
the
since November 1st
precipitation.
to here, they've had about 92% of the average precipitation. So again, last month you saw that the watershed conditions had improved, and that actually the upper basin had moved out of any drought in terms of the soil moisture. So that's the only good news, and that's as long as it doesn't, we don't have a heat wave, which we're probably gonna have a heat wave here. Arizona's in one right now and it's moving this way. So
Coming this way, yeah.
but at least getting the water through Colorado looks like we're a little easier. And it has been a little bit more productive. The other side of it is Colorado and New Mexico are both coming on because it's warmed up. And they're gonna well, New Mexico's already been diverting for 2 weeks.
In the middle Rio Grande, or?
Yeah, so where they divert on Middle Rio Grande. I don't think they divert, other than through groundwater pumping, those are the only diversions in the Middle Rio Grande.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and we go back up to the discussion that goes out. This is Dr. McConn's report that he puts out right before the board meetings. This is a little bit old. It was for the board meeting last week, but it's, his comment here is that, Wolf Creek, which we look at as the most productive gauge up in the highest point of the system, is 15.2. We typically, for a good year, we want that to be around 40. You guys understand that, these things don't work. They're what they call, what us engineers and mathematicians always call us, is they're highly nonlinear. So that means the way I explain it is always a poker analogy, is that, hey, just to get into the game, you have an ante. It makes sense, right? You gotta get so much water in the watershed just to cover all the losses to get it down here. We don't get any of it until we get that. We're below that number now. So, so when you get, that's why you have to be up there around the 43 inches for us to have a good year, because it takes the first 30 plus inches just to pay the ante to get in the game. It's a curve that is not a straight line. So, those are numbers that are very, difficult.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. That whole paragraph there.
The only thing I discounted that paragraph a little bit, Tim, we had some discussions that we are right now, or at least depends how much Rio Grande takes, but we are on track to be just slightly under the same amount of water as June 1st, but we don't know that yet. So the problem is that it's the second year of this drought. So Enrique talked. We're not making a recommendation today because we're going to wait, like we do till May till we get all the water in we can possibly get in. April historically had been 30% of our snowfall occurred in April. Don't know if that's going to happen this time. It's been less and less each year because it's warming up faster. But so I don't want to. When 30% of my water, I don't know what's going to happen to it. But even if we did get a normal amount for the next 30 days, that isn't very good. If we made up some of our losses, and so we're probably looking at this point, our estimate would be that we're below last year in terms of productivity to get it down here. We may release the same amount of water or slightly less, but getting it in through the system is going to be harder because it's been the second year. They've been pumping a lot more, and we'll pump a lot more up north, and the river's going to be drier down here. And so,
I don't think they were listening a lot to even the court case, because I was up there back here early March. They're still putting in brand new trees, and it looks like still hundreds of acres.
Hundreds and hundreds of acres.
Brand new trees.
I don't know that
Well, they've
there's
already had.
anything in the court case that affects that.
No, I know, but it
that's
means the optimism of those growers, because they know they've disconnected from their aquifer, and yet they talk about recharging their aquifer and everything,
There's the court case was so complicated, and there's many things that we didn't agree with, that New Mexico and Texas did. But having said that, we've got a very specific requirements, and Renee will talk. None of that comes into effect anytime soon, and we'll start working on it this year, but we don't anticipate the first year that we'll be under that settlement until next year. we're already into this year, the Supreme Court hasn't approved it, I don't see how we can implement it
Right.
this year, because we're in the middle of it. So I would expect the first time that we'll actually be under those protocols would be January 1st of next year or something like that. Maybe November 1st.
Okay.
But, Renee will advise you on that, I'm not trying to advise you on that.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's human nature, that is just human nature.
Yeah, there's a curve at Wolf Creek, so you can see what, even from last year, we did get a February surge that a big storm that came through, it was pretty productive. I just need 6 more of those. So, one of the difficulties, you guys seen it too, and I'm from farming, I'm in the same weather, even though I was, 200 miles from you guys, I was still in similar weather patterns, and for years, for my whole life of farming over there. We always, and being in the hay business, we always looked at, in the winter, in terms of activities, what I expect is some sort of moisture event coming from the northwest every 7 to 11 days. It was always this, and you better get out there and do whatever you're gonna do now, because in another 5 days, it'll probably be raining, that type of deal, or some event, and a lot of that turned out to be snow for the upper thing. Now we're seeing that these events like that are 30 days apart.
Yeah, very, very infrequent.
Yeah, well, if you can look at them, they're not very big on this thing. My mouse, is looking at there's one there, right? There's one there, and then there's one here. Before we would have seen much more steps in that thing historically, so we're seeing them. That's a jet stream effect, and so, well, you can see them over here on this last year. They're pretty well pronounced there too.
Yeah.
The frequency was better at the beginning of last year, and then it just fell off. You see it going pretty quick here. These are 2 weeks and 3 weeks apart. And then boom, we didn't get any more, and then we went a full 30 months before we got another one, and then we had some in here, and they got a little more frequent. These little events here are melts and re-snow, so when I'm talking about, hey, I don't know how much snow I'm gonna get till April and May, these are snow events in May over here. These 3 are all after, here we are, way back here. So there's quite a bit of moisture comes in the next 2 months. And maybe I'll be happy next board meeting.
You can start drinking through your slides.
Yeah,
Hear that, Larry, you brought your tequila with you.
that just makes it worse, right?
Jared, drink it.
Yeah,
Now,
I offered it.
this chart's the one that really bothers me.
So
If that, you believe that 50,000? That can't be right.
So this chart, I probably should tell them not to put it, well, we usually start putting this in March, it usually starts being accurate. The problem is, and they've corrected some things on it, I'll work with Dr. McCon to show him the corrections, I think I had slipped through that, he did this a week ago, so March wasn't really there, so he included March in it. They have another forecast that's in there for, that would start in April. Because that amount right there, we've already got, okay?
I was gonna say, it's gotta be wrong at 15,000.
Yeah, it's wrong, and I guess it came out on March 1st.
Yeah.
So this is the amount for March. Well, between March 1st and today, we've gotten over 15,000. So, yeah, so it's really funny, and I can understand their difficulty in doing the forecasting. I'm not critical of the NRCS. I'm just saying this is already wrong. We know it's wrong. And so next month will look a little bit better. I think that at this point, all I can say is that I actually think 91's too high. So,
But somewhere
I would
between-
split, I'm looking at about 40 to 50 is what I'm looking at trying to get.
Okay. Well, if you're saying that, you're only saying another 30,000 gonna inflow into.
Well, this goes all the way to the end of July.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're predicting we're only gonna get another 30,000 acre feet.
Well, 50, instead of, I'm in between, about 50.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, I don't know, I'm saying that
Yeah, we don't
30% of
know.
my moisture comes in a month that I can't predict, so.
And we're already, what, 20,000 below last month?
Yeah, maybe, we're 58, I mean, the forecast has us about less than 20 and when you have to make the allocation.
Yeah.
I don't have any reliability of that forecast. You can see NRCS doesn't have any reliability. I'm telling you that I can't give you reliability until it happens because nobody can predict this system. I can make a guess, my guess is, hey, a reliable guess is 50, we'll get at least 50, that'll put us at 308.
Well, with Jared, bring me out the bottle.
And look, this is what I told George, and I'll stick to this, best we can tell right now is the amount of water we're gonna release is gonna be very similar to what, probably a little less, but very similar to what it was last year. The efficiency of getting the water from the reservoir to here is gonna be less because we're in the second year of an extreme drought. So the performance of the river, every year that you're in a drought, that's a multi-year drought, things that I presented to you, and it's in our operating agreement, gets worse, significantly worse. It makes sense, right?
Right,
Because
because
we're
we're
not
gonna
able to
have
refill
in
the
the soil,
aquifer,
yeah.
and more pumping occurs, and so we, at this point, lack, and I don't like to put out any terms, Enrique and I are going, we know we're gonna probably operate for 2 weeks less. We're probably looking at least only 3 irrigations for this small tract, and 60 days instead of, that's the 2 weeks, that's 75, and probably 15 inches instead of 18. But I don't wanna make that,
Until we get there.
I don't want to.
And we're still looking at June almost automatically.
We're automatically looking at June, no
Yeah.
matter what, we're gonna probably release in June, we have to because of efficiencies and all sorts of issues. And by the time we get to May, then we should know quite a bit better.
June, July, okay. Has EPID made anything yet? They had their board meeting last week.
They have to make a estimate much earlier than we do because of some of their relationships with the state engineer of New Mexico. I don't consider those to have any effect on us, but I don't know what they did last week. Is anybody here? But I would imagine theirs would be in a much smaller number.
Enrique, do you talk to, what's his name?
James.
I believe they did a 4-inch.
But again, I wouldn't give any weight to that at all. That's something that they
It's
have.
too early, yeah.
They historically didn't, they would wait till May with us to know more, but they have to do it now earlier for administrative reasons. And so those numbers are very unreliable, but, so they're gonna be very conservative. They're gonna be, I mean, we can't, the policy the board said many, many years ago, what, 110 years ago, was we don't allocate unless it's, the recommendations we have, unless we have water and storage.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing an allocation right now because I know we'll get more water and storage, so I wanna get that water and storage before we do it. But the optimistic end would be that it's a duplicate of last year. That would be, we'd be really happy, right? If we could do that. We think it's gonna be worse than last year now. It's looking like it's gonna be slightly worse.
Slightly, yeah.
I don't know if that's slightly. To us, 3 inches is a lot. But,
Yeah, well, Des Farmer is more wells.
well, again, it's the same problem we have with the watershed. As we get lower and lower, everything, since it's this very complex, not a straight line efficiency relationship, it's highly exponential. It's a thing that really occurs. If we start losing water, things get, you say, oh, there's 3 inches, 3 out of 18 is not that much. It's really about, the effect on us is about twice that. So because there's other losses we have, again, we have to pay, it takes so much water to fill canals and wet them up. And so as we get towards that number, the amount of water available for delivery gets lower and lower.
Has there been any talk on the cleaning of the system getting down here? I know it's not on not our system, but the Rio Grande here, is that the Bureau or who is that?
That's the Boundary Commission's in charge of that. They have had an ongoing program, of course, they've just recently changed the commissioner. I think the priority right now is the fence, and we haven't heard any discussion about, have we seen anybody cleaning? I haven't seen anybody.
No, for sure, you can go past the Benton and the river's completely flooded, or completely full of sand, and the water goes around.
Well, there's numerous islands. We did have a pretty good event, so, I can give you the long-term reports, and there's some from the Boundary, and the ones that the district commissioned me and the city and EPID to prepare. I think you should read that one, it's 2018. I think it's the most comprehensive and straightforward, easy to understand, so I'll get you a copy of that. But the river produces each year, depending on the amount of runoff from the sand hills and the foothills, someplace between 200 and 400,000 yards each year. So if you don't stay on top of it, there was, it's in the report, so I'll be guessing at I don't remember, but let's say there was a 10-year period, I think it was more like 15, but I'll say 10, that nobody claimed anything. That's 4 million that were behind, and
Cubic yards.
And that created a burden that we probably will never recover.
It's kind of like, yeah, the Mesilla aquifer, ever getting connected again to the surface.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as the sediment. It's not that deep to the aquifer. We have three full
Well,
years,
and
we have
they
3
claim-
full years it'll reconnect.
Will they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were talking up
I
there.
just don't
like-
remember what 700,000 acre feet looks
No,
like.
I don't. God, man, I don't.
None of us do,
I
right?
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, but we get 700,000 for 3 years in a row, and everything changes. But you know, can I give you the probability of 700,000 for 3 years in a row? All bets are off these days, guys. All our statistics are failing. Every one of our statistics are failing.
So you're gonna stay on until we get that number, though, right?
If you'd say, if I could have some commission on that number, I would stay on forever. Hoping that it would
We'll have to get that with Mary. Pretty stickler on these receipts.
I will stay until I get the commission, but I can, you know, it could happen next year. You know, it's happened before, right? I mean, it's not that you don't get these really extreme, you know, there could be, there's some of the models forecast that once the ocean heats up enough, that, you know, we become, at least parts of Arizona and really southern New Mexico, so I think includes us, become, more savanna-like, more semi-tropical, no, I wouldn't call it semi-tropical, but in between semi-tropical and that. And Lower Rio Grande is not semi-tropical, but it borders on it.
Yeah.
And they're saying it can go, but you can imagine because the clouds, these atmospheric rivers contain so much water, California's getting it, and we're not, you know, they're intercepting it. It's the jet stream that's causing the big disruptions. If the jet stream was the same pattern it had been before, carrying that moisture out of California into us, we would be in great shape, because there's been plenty of moisture coming in off the water, and the waters are going up. But, you know, there's a weird, that whole climate change deal is very super complex, but you can understand. I use the refrigerator analogy because it's very simple and pretty close, really. So you think about when we lost the vortex, the Arctic vortex, which is what the jet streams caused, and why that jet stream's almost vertical now. That's like leaving the refrigerator, the freezer door open, and there's a great reserve of coldness. It's just like heat, cold's opposite heat, it's still a thermal quantity that is flowing out and into the ocean, and actually cooling the ocean, which means we have less, in some cases, less precipitation down here where we need the, you know, La Nina is still in effect. And so, but that's gonna run out. And once that runs out, they have the rain increasing, and I don't know if it's gonna run out in 10 years or 20 years, I don't know what it's gonna be. But once it runs out, the moisture should take off. So, it may be more of the years that I want to stick around to answer your question. but what do we want it to run out faster so it starts raining more? I don't know what's going to happen. So, but right now, one thing that is impressive. JD commented on this, and I think Enrique knows, is that we've learned how to take this small release and do a lot more with it than we ever had before. Because in 2013. We released 165, but there was a little bit more than that, but around 200, let's say 200. And 2016, we only had a 6-inch allocation, but we think now this, you know, that we're operating at 15 is the number we're looking at currently based on a 280. We think, you know, we know how to manage it better, fast and furious, that's what they call us now, right? We hit that river as hard as we can hit it, get it up, get you guys water, we go on rotation. Then we fall back to to people that we didn't quite get to with the return flow, because the return flow is strong for a couple of weeks after when we shut off and try to finish it out to the advantage. Upper Valley's got to use their water faster because we can only put it up there for so long. Yeah. And so that's all to minimize losses that we have in there. And we are lining canals. People answer this, right, every day. Right? Every day. So we're a little bit more efficient every year, and we are able to, we've hit what we think is an optimum performance criteria on getting the water down here, getting it out to you guys. But you guys gotta be ready. Remember last year?
Yeah, I did.
I was,
Yeah, you were. So, get ready, because when it comes, we gotta take it or else you don't get it. So. we'll have our public meeting too, I think. Yeah, we didn't bring it up, but we probably need to have one like, just like we did last year, not with an allocation, just to give the information I'm giving you right now.
And we need to spread around the board, we did it last year, but people don't hear what they don't wanna hear, you know, and so. We
Yeah,
did
they,
that, right, Jay? They kept coming back and said,
Yeah,
well,
we
wait a
had a
minute, you didn't
Zoom.
tell me.
We had a Zoom one and then we
Yeah.
had it in person,
So-
so, yeah.
We're not ready for that yet, probably,
Hey, we did it in May last year.
we did, what allocation one in May, but I think we did it early.
I think
We
we
did a
did
Zoom
it
one,
in
yeah,
April,
the month before.
yeah, to make sure everybody understood.
Well, just to give them the heads up that it's.
Well, we need to even do it right now, because, you know, traditionally,
The one-
contemplating is.
The pre one isn't an allocation one, it's just, hey, it doesn't look great one.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And we can do that now if you want.
I think the sooner the better, because that way at least it gets,
Yeah.
you know, more of a professional deal instead of a hearsay type of thing.
I mean, the one thing that, because of other constraints, operational constraints, and everything, is that we're almost positive is that we know release date. And, to keep our efficiency high and stuff, we have to hit that date. I can't delay it, and I can't move it up. I mean, that's, a lot of our efficiency and performance of the river depends on coordination with everything else, and so, we're working that already with, and so that, you can get that news out. to people. We don't know how long we're gonna be on yet, but we know when we're gonna start.
You're saying around June first, like every year?
We're gonna release last
Probably.
Friday
Muscle
before
memory.
that, and what's that end up being, Enrique?
May 29th?
May 29th, and then it takes 3 to 4 days for the water to get here, really 4 days. Gets here late on the 3rd day, and, but it's a lot of trash, and we have to sluice. But we go operational on the 4th day, right?
Depends how much goes down Caballo Dam, right?
Yeah. But we'll move all the water we need out. They'll start moving water out of Elephant View here, in May, and so we have about 70,000 per operational pool within Caballo. But, so we won't have a problem there, but we'll probably release more water this year in the first 3 days than we ever have in recent history, because I think EPCWID wants to push it a little harder, and we want to push it a little harder. So we release, our structural capacity is about 2,700. We've been doing 25 to 26, but we might push it a little more. After that, we'll worry about our scour. So we typically
Okay.
have like that. And that number seems to be working pretty well for us. Right? And then we start throttling it back as it gets closer to us.
Well, Enrique, I could ask you, I guess maybe you're on your, what did your counterpart, James, did he give you a timetable for them, what they're thinking too? That same June 1st?
No, it has to, we've been working that for months.
You've been working, okay, so it's the
Since
same.
November.
Okay, and they're guessing maybe all they're gonna get is 4 inches.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a day, no, that's what I told you, that you heard what you wanted to hear.
Not like
I told you the day after administration purposes, they had to make an allocation earlier than we do. They don't know how much they're gonna have, it's just like we don't know how much we're
I
gonna
know.
have. They'll make theirs in May.
This is why we gotta have a meeting.
So that is an administrative number.
That 4 inches.
Right. A third of our water comes in the next 2 months. They will allocate, if they get more water, they will allocate it just like we will,
Okay,
okay, to a point.
okay.
And so they may go to 6, they may go, I don't think they'll go to 8.
Well, the 4 was just a guess.
The 4 is an administrative number.
It's
They
like
have
our
to-
guess of 15.
It's not,
Hopefully it's a guess.
it's a little bit more, it's because they used to not do it. This year they've had to do it for administrative reasons that they have to, and they only allocate what they have in storage. So they can't allocate more than we have right now. So that what they say, if we release what we have in now, we'll have 4 inches. But we all know that number's gonna be greater. We just don't know how much greater. Okay? So then we'll see their real number in May, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You said
So,
a third of what we typically get is between the middle of March to the end of May?
Well, you can see on the graph that we get events that go all the way into May. So you see these things where it goes back up last year,
yeah.
those are all snow events. There's even one down here around May 15th. And there's a pretty significant one there in April, and another one. It melts, it's melting in between there,
That's what you want.
but it's water. We'll
Yeah.
take it. And so those are snow events, up at least at the highest point in the thing. And I can show you some previous years. We have what's called a vector diagram, which we'll put out next month. You'll see that, and it shows us where we are historically on these events. So that's where we plot 40 years of snows, and you were here. All those ones with the dots and everything. And then we can look at probabilities on those 40 years of whether we could go up a little or go down a little, and do that. We'll do that next month.
It was 2019 that this really hit, right? Because we all of a sudden, we did get a.
Yeah, that was one of them, and we actually had less water in storage at this time of year in 2018 than we did. And so we had this big event at the end of the year. Actually, it came so late that we couldn't use it, and there was some problems. But we did end up going to a 4-foot allocation, but you guys all couldn't get 4 feet because we were so late in the city.
You're dragging it on.
Yeah, but we had a full allocation the next year.
Right.
So it does occasionally. That's great, George. That's the one that was almost all in April. It just came in just wild. So everybody say their prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, senor.
That's the good news and the bad news.
All wrapped
All
up.
wrapped up. You guys separated it out. Yeah. This is not right. Probably should have put it in there.
Well, that's okay, I kept thinking that wasn't right this year. Let's see, what time are we? 10:01, let's go, Enrique.
My stuff, sure. Here. No, I have to drag it back, right?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Again, history numbers for the acres.
Yep.
For last year, we, same time this year, we irrigated 6,863 last year, 2025. So this year, same time frame, is 7,362.
This year.
This year, yes.
And have you got these numbers to Robert?
You get a little mean.
But defending Robert, you had more moisture in there.
More acres, less water.
The ground was
I mean,
you're doing a good
job. Yes, you're doing a good job. But what's helping is that water from downtown. That's helping
Yeah,
out.
there you go.
We can see the difference.
If we can only get it to flow upstream, dang.
Yeah. So right now, we do have 500 acres active watering right now. Pending, we have about 7,000 acres. And,
because the farmers are calling you up, aren't they, on that 2 inches?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And, cotton, so far, we've had about 2,200 acres.
How many acres was that?
2,253. And that might drop, talking to some of the farmers that depending on the water, how much we're gonna release, that they might not irrigate all of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like last year. I mean, at this point, if you don't have a well, I don't know about that whole year, really.
Yes. Yeah, so those numbers might change at the end because of the water.
So if you're saying that on cotton, that leaves what, about 5,000 or still?
For pecan or alfalfa.
Or other stuff,
Or other,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now, it's a little tight since the pecans and cotton are at the same time, so just bear with us, but we'll get with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell everybody get their orders.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's all I got.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Pete?
Button on the side.
It's a button on the side.
And I turned it on, so it,
Okay. Morning.
Morning.
George didn't have an issue.
I heard. Let me start off with, while they get that PowerPoint ready. We have started our mowing already in all the units. I've only started with one more for now, so I've got all the boom blowers running. For some reason, everything's coming up pretty quick. Our herbicide, I'm thinking I'm gonna hold off on them till probably May. to do the herbicide. I just have to see what these mowers can keep up with the weeds out there.
Is it Robert still
They're
working?
covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, they're coming down the ground. Yeah, there's a lot of spots, it's not like a full carpet, it's just, you got a spot here and there, so that's helped. We're also working, along IBWC on getting some gates repaired on the American Canal over by where the old Riverside paving used to be, Wasteway number 3. Those gates, we've got 5 gates, and I think out of all 5, we only got 1 that's operational. So I've met with IBWC, and we'll be working jointly together to get those things repaired. You'll see that it's really to our benefit that we need those things.
Sure.
Another thing we are doing is Socorro 1, one of the wells. We are removing that well and capping it. That well stopped pumping. It wasn't a very good producer to begin with, but it stopped pumping. We're removing all the hardware and all the pump out right now to see exactly what happened to it. I'm thinking it might have collapsed, but I don't think it's beneficial to spend all this money and put it back in for the prediction it was giving us.
Have you already removed it?
No, we are removing it today. Yeah, we're pulling everything today. We removed the engine and the cage, everything yesterday, and we're doing the pump today.
That's where you'll find out if it really collapsed.
Right, yeah.
How deep is that well?
I'm sorry?
How deep is that?
96 feet. Now, the thing is, and one of the main reasons also I decided to pull it is that I really don't think it's in our right of way. It seems to be out of our right of way. So we might as well take it out and
Put it where it belongs.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And put it somewhere that we got more benefit out of it, because here it's just strictly for Socorro lateral, and there's not many acres in Socorro lateral now. I'd rather put it in the Franklin to where we can use it in different units in different areas.
How old is that engine?
It's been there since, what, 2003, Al, when those wells were done?
At least.
2002?
Yeah.
I was looking at it, that pipe on
3, 4,
the.
5, yeah.
Is that a life cycle? What's a life cycle or something like that?
Those are long overdue already. As far as the casing and stuff, so.
Oh, yeah, they were 3-year life.
Yeah, we got, we were hoping to get.
So that's why I'm thinking it might be the
3, 5.
casing that's collapsed on it,
3
but I won't know until I pull the hardware on it. Okay, let me, on this PowerPoint,
Those engines will keep running along.
I'm also working alongside right now with, well, actually, I've got TxDOT doing some cleanup on some of our crossings. This is the Juan D. Main where it goes under the Loop 375. So they've got a new contractor. He actually does pretty good work. This is the Juan D. Main where it goes under the Loop 375. Comes over by the veterinarian clinic on the other side, which will be, that's in there, so. There's very good work there. Then the other one they've done, this is the Wallington. This is right there by Socorro High School where it goes under Alameda. And that's the very first one they did for us. Right now, I've got them working on the third one, and I've got about another 3 that we got scheduled for.
That was
Great,
great.
I've never seen them do such a good job.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Was there before and after?
There'll be people living in there.
I'm sorry?
Before and after?
No, I don't have a before picture, unfortunately, but trust me.
I can imagine it was really bad.
Yeah, you can see where the silt was up to.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's pretty bad.
So, yeah, they did a real good job on these. And like I said, I've got them working on another 2 laterals right now, and then I've got a couple of community ditches that I've had problems with for a couple of years. So I've got them scheduled to do those private ditches also.
What, do they use a Bobcat on it, or?
They're actually using a vac truck.
Oh, that truck. That's why it looks so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long nose.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the drains within the city of El Paso, this is the Nemexis drain over right behind the Willows. This is an area that we had cleaned out a couple of months ago. We just hadn't had a chance to go back and pick all the debris back up. So we're out there picking everything up and hauling everything off, shredding whatever we can. This is all the same area.
You have to haul that stuff to the New Mexico dump?
A lot of that stuff, George, we've got a pit that we had dug out over by Artcraft. So we're filling it with all this, just, all it is trees and stuff like that, so. But the most of it is being mulched. We are mulching a lot of it, and then what we do is we go back and spread it on our ditch banks, as you can see there. And then this is some of the work that going into the drains outside the city limits. This is down here in the Favens area, and I'll go through them pretty quick.
Pete, do you ever get ahead of all this, or you just,
Do I ever get ahead of it? Not yet. Not in the past 40 years that I've been here.
We're getting light at the end of the tunnel and.
No, I would need a lot more equipment to be able to get ahead.
Gotcha.
Okay, this is up there on the west side. This is over the Montoya drain by, well, actually the New Mexico drain, I'm sorry. And this is the Montoya D. So we had a major leak there, started eroding the drain bank. Went out there and poured a concrete collar. The pipe is not that old, so it didn't have to get replaced. So it was just a repair that we had to do there. And then this is on the Sanelli main. This is some of the work that we're doing with the dozers. We're doing something a little different, and actually putting the dozer in the channel, and it actually makes it a lot faster, and it comes out pretty nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And this is we go on, and that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and this is over here, right behind the old Sanelli school, right here on Socorro Road.
I got you.
Right there by the remote place.
Yes. Yeah, that's right behind there. You can see it. Then we'll go in there, kind of shape it a little bit to make sure that we don't get any kind of erosion.
Now we just gotta line it.
Yeah. One of many. One of the other things that we're doing is we are installing a lot of the rails on these gates, and you guys have probably noticed that most of these rails have deteriorated from the bottom, and the gates are in real bad shape. You can see the gate that's coming out, you can see the holes underneath it. And then the gates, and this is actually on Franklin Canal on the Glen Checks. And what we're doing with the rails is, it's the bottom half that gets corroded, so we're just cutting them off and then reusing the upper half. We'll weld them together, and then we can reuse them.
Does it help to galvanize them?
No.
Makes it worse. Makes it worse.
Those holes in that thing?
Those are the old gates. These gates, I remember,
For some reason, the salts that are in our
Water, the galvanized.
jack, the galvanized stuff, aluminized is another issue, but I think our aluminum gates are working really good. aren't
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So instead of galvanized pipe, we use aluminized pipe. We learned that along. The EPID doesn't have that problem of pretty water country in the upper valley.
So that's just one of the gates, to give you an idea of what these gates are looking like when we're pulling them.
That's a gate.
That's a gate, well, it's part of a gate. The new one going in. So we do have an intern right now from Western Tech, and he's helping us build these gates. Of course, he's with one of our guys in there assisting them. So we've installed, I'm gonna say probably a good 25, 30 gates already.
We're changing the gauge. Some of those old gates were done with thinner gauge. weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they
Yes.
went that way.
And that one was just a quarter, but it just started.
Right. Yeah, here's another one on the, I think this is the 206.
Yeah, look at that.
What's it using now, 3/8 instead of
Yes, yes.
12? Yeah. It's a big difference in
Right.
years by going to 3/8.
You went from
I think it was 12 gauge or something before. What were
12
they
gauge
using?
to 3/8?
Yeah.
Wow. They fit in the same slots and everything.
And these are the
Yeah,
guard
there's
sets.
some slop in them.
You can see the rails on the left-hand side, how we've kind of lost about a foot of those rails.
Yeah.
So here we did replace all the rails on them, and then we're redoing the gates.
Yeah, none of these are these are just shop built gates and none of them seal. I mean,
Right.
they're just to regulate water. We don't expect them to be able to, they don't have any need to.
Leak proof now.
So,
Even though we might have to get with, start putting gaskets on it, we keep continuing with this drought.
See, maybe they was off. I'm pretty sure that the gaskets probably wouldn't help much without a water stop on the bottom and the redesign.
Right.
We'd have to just replace them all with radials probably, right?
Okay, so this is the added main, this is the area where we did the shotcrete, further downstream. What we did is we went ahead and dug out the whole alley main all the way up to the head. So this is right there, right by the road. That was where it makes the curves over by Lee Moore's place. And, we're hauling all this sand out because it's this real fine sugar sand out. So this sand is blowing into the farmer's ditches, which is causing us other problems, so it never fails that we solve a problem and create another.
Yep.
But we're not charging you for that dirt.
No, no, it's free. Anybody wants sand? I got plenty of it. I'll deliver. This is the island main. So the island main, I was hoping to get done by February 15th. Unfortunately, with that light snow that we got and that rain, it delayed me for about 2 weeks. So we did get done on February 26th. And we did manage to do approximately about 2,200 feet of shotcrete. And it came out very nice, actually.
That looks pretty, very good. Oh, good wood.
And then Deacon couldn't wait to put water in it, so everything.
That's helped the concrete cure, so.
Yeah.
That was
No, we
probably-
did let it cure for about 4 days, I think.
Yes. That was probably the sandiest area, right? Pete?
Yes, yes,
That area right there. now.
right. Yeah, it's not too bad, and those ditch banks, I'll tell you what, they made a world of difference with what we did with them. You can actually travel now without getting stuck.
You're right.
I found an old construction note, when I first did that Island Main, that the engineer said he didn't think they could build a ditch in that, it was too sandy.
Yeah, that area right there was sandy. I got stuck there several times.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our day-to-day problems, this is right here, behind Gallegos Park in Canutillo, where somebody ran into the Canutillo lateral, and as you can see, the head wall there pretty much broken in half.
Wow.
So we had to go in there and replace the whole turnout structure there.
Did you see the other guy?
Exactly. Unfortunately, we don't know who it was. So we did replace it, and we are pouring concrete today as we speak. So we are pouring concrete in the walls in front.
Can you go back one slide real quick?
Sure. I'll try.
Just different issues.
You're asking for a lot here. Let's see.
Okay, Jake, you go.
One more.
No, this is actually the next slide.
Oh, okay.
You gotta do it all on your end. This doesn't have a back function.
Yes, it does.
Sorry,
I just
I don't know how to use
don't, I
it.
just don't want to show you where it's
It
at.
works sometimes, and I don't know, every boat is strange.
So that's just backfill gravel that's spread that, where you can see the coloration change, or is that?
No, they're actually putting water and then they're going in there and compacting
Water,
it.
it's
But
a
yeah,
water.
it is backfill.
Okay, no, I just didn't know what the color, material change was there.
Oh, no, it's water, yeah, it's
Yeah.
different, yeah.
Okay, no, sorry,
No,
I didn't mean to cause,
No big deal.
Yeah.
well, you can go forward.
Thank you. Okay, and then, no sooner that we get a call on that one, I get a call on another one on Union East, or by, I believe it's West Vinton Road, right at the culvert. And you can see the turnout. Fortunately enough, that one, they just shaved they cut the frame right in half.
Wow.
A car did that? Came
Yes.
From the,
Yeah, it's right at that's where the, West Vinton.
oh, so the
Process.
car fell right in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Wow.
And that was during the same time. I don't know if it was the same guy or not, but.
I didn't learn the first time.
Okay, he started with that one.
Right, a good outing.
So there, it's already been repaired.
That's a good fall up there for
That's Super Bowl Sunday.
And this is another install on the Sanelli. This water user had irrigated in, I think, over 20 years or so, probably more than that. And by the time we went in there to try to repair the turnout, well, it was beyond repairs.
Yeah.
So we also had to go in there and install a brand new turnout.
Upper Valley, you said?
No, this is here in San Elizario,
Oh, here in San
right upstream from Arauco Road.
But these turnouts that Pete's doing now are 100-year turnouts, right? I mean, they really are, except for, except for
Right.
the hardware, but the concrete's.
Yes,
So we don't ever expect to have to.
So when we do come back with.
to wash out either.
Yeah, when we come back with a lining, we
Tie
adapt
into
right
it,
to it.
Right.
We don't make that type in the shop though.
Yeah,
That type?
yeah, we had to make them custom here,
Yes.
build them in pavements.
Oh.
Yeah, we build those head walls in Favens. I'll do that like every winter.
Yeah, we couldn't get them, that's why we changed, that's an old design, but it was actually a reclamation design that we found, and then we started making them, and they work great with those wings. Get all the velocity away from the bank, and then with the putting those sidewalls in, we're ready, there's nothing that can go wrong with it.
Right.
Should have zero piping, because we have piping on every turnout.
So this is a check gate on the 341. This is
Yeah,
also
pretty
another
fast.
one that started failing on us. I went out there and see if I could do any kind of repairs on it to stabilize it, and it was beyond repairs. All that wing wall on the left side is actually just floating, which I found that most of our checks that were built back in the days, there was really no footing in there. There's very minimal rebar, so it doesn't take much to knock them down. So this is on the 341. So we're pouring floors tomorrow, and then we should be doing the wing walls and the check structure, the columns and everything else next Monday. And we should be out of there hopefully by next Thursday with that project being completed. This is another one, this is on the Quemada. This is actually a road closure that we had to do on Thompson Road. The cemetery is just on this side of the pipe. City of San Isidro did pay for all the material and for all the pipe and all the work that's going into this, but we're doing the work, being that it's one of our canals. And this one here, 2 sack is being poured also this morning. And we should be able to backfill by Monday. That's the part to keep out. So we had a whole bunch of sinkholes in that roadway. This is up there on the Montoya A. This is actually a private crossing. I think I showed you guys this last month where we were pouring this, but that's how it came out after we were done. That's the private driveway. This private driveway also, all material was paid by the homeowner. And this is over by Woodland. This is the one that we had to close half the road, and then we had to close the other half because that's the only way into those, to that neighborhood. And this one's been also completed. This one was also funded by the city of El Paso. That's the last section of shotcrete that we need to do to complete this this grant, and we will be done with all the Montoya A today. We had about 4 trucks that we needed to pour today, and this project will be completed.
Congratulations.
That's the 206. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. Okay, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Very good.
See any want-list stuffs in Vegas?
What's that?
See any stuff?
Oh, yeah, you know, actually, it was humongous. I've been to 2 other comic expos, and I think this has been the largest. There was a total of 10 different lots that you could visit. We managed to do 8. And we were averaging 11 miles a day, Enrique, was it? 11 miles a day of walking.
Wow.
And I think the first day we walked a total of 15 miles. Needless to say,
You're not gonna go back.
I'm sorry?
You're not gonna go back.
No, but you know something, it was, there was a lot of new technology. I was amazed on how much the electric vehicles are hitting the market now. There's a whole bunch of electric excavators and construction equipment that is electric.
Wow.
The catch is that one of the things I did ask was, what's the, how long does the battery take before you have to recharge? So the battery will drain out on easy going, not putting a lot of stress on the machine. It'll last 6 hours.
Wow.
And then it takes 12 hours to charge it. And the good thing, he offered to buy me a charge or give me a charging station if I buy 2 machines.
Pretty good target.
I was negotiating.
Right.
And a cap.
But we did find the dump trucks, In fact, I've already made contact with the gentleman, and I'm waiting for some quotes on the 2 dump trucks that we had budgeted for. And, he said he's already got the specs and everything, he's just waiting on the pricing for Bidwell on the bids.
Those aren't electric too, are they?
Oh.
Where's this happy? Where'd you go?
To the Conexpo,
Oh, okay.
the Conexpo those days. Yeah, but it was very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
All
guys.
right, thank you, Pete.
Thanks,
That
President.
was excellent. Thank you. Ah. Let's see, Sharon, people need a break? We okay? All right, let's go on to Sharon. Just keep going.
Okay, application 3730, Paso Water. It's for a temporary construction license. The temporary ingress and egress to the Jonathan Rogers Water Treatment Plant. And it's for access to the Rios yard and for construction of utilities and road improvements on Pan American Drive. Licensing has reviewed this application and recommends it for approval.
Okay, now that's 3720, right?
3730.
3730.
30, okay, I'm gonna say.
I move to accept 3730,
Yeah.
second application.
Is that the Robert Rios yard?
Yeah, that's the one, Robert River. All right, George made the motion.
I second it.
All right, Larry seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Very good. All right, Sharon?
Application 3723 by the City of El Paso for a 25-year license to install conduit and fiber optic cable for traffic-related devices. And it's gonna be crossing the Juan de Herrera lateral branch B at North Loop. Licensing has reviewed this application and recommends it for approval.
Okay,
Move to approve.
all right. Mike made the motion.
Second.
Jared seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, there's a 3720.
Yes, 3720 is for a non-objection letter for Texas gas service. And it's for an installation of a 2-inch EPD natural gas line at crossing the Daughtery lateral at Sunset Valley Avenue, and it's within the Sunset Valley subdivision. Licensing has reviewed this application and recommends it for approval.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve.
all right, Jared made the motion.
Second.
Larry seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay,
License,
yeah, you
number
get to
16 is a
continue.
letter of approval under master license 2050, and it's application 3684 on behalf of the county of El Paso. And it's to place a shared use path across the Alamo Alto drain at Alameda Avenue.
What's
Here,
that?
where's
What's the
that?
shared? What is that?
Shared use path, yeah, is this,
It's,
one of those paths
Yes.
that we're running into all the time?
It's a trail.
Yeah, we're on that trail.
So it's a 10-foot that they're putting adjacent to Alameda, beginning in Clint, right in front of here, the Honey property, starting at Gray Street, and it's gonna go to, Tornillo.
Is that part of that long stretch path?
Correct.
That was been proposed by Del Norte?
It's, yes, it's through the county of El Paso now.
Now, this says across, it doesn't say.
So
There's
it-
one,
it's,
the Alamo also goes across Texas 20. so-
Yes, they're gonna cross the bridge, so they've got, yeah, that should have been, a portion of it's gonna be adjacent to Alameda and Shoulder. We got the Alamo Alto
Okay.
drain, so
Okay.
there's a portion that they're gonna be using a few feet,
Yeah.
but, you know, the drains, yeah. And then, when it crosses right in front of the T-131, where
Okay.
the Spence, farm is,
Yeah.
where the drain crosses, they're gonna put a pedestrian bridge there. And it's a prefab, Contech, engineered bridge, they're very nice, aesthetically pleasing and whatnot. So, yeah, they're gonna place it, they already come a prefab, they're just gonna set
That's
it down.
going right on Alameda?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
right in Alameda,
It's
adjacent
in
to
the
the,
disputed right away.
yes.
And that's been a collaboration with the county and.
Oh, yeah, this has been,
It's mainly Texas.
2 years, but, yeah. So it's TxDOT, county, it's,
And all the crossings that we got there are gonna be.
Just one.
we don't have any crossings, so just this one.
This will be the
There are no
only one.
laterals, there's some community ditches, farm ditches, and they are, spanning those with a concrete, slab bridge. They were on the plans, I did ask them, we were concerned, I said, with the vegetation, I said, if you're gonna put a bridge, slab over it. They're like, all those are
But I'm
concrete.
saying all the farm crossings.
Yeah, the farm crossings, no, yeah, they're all private crossings, they're all concrete line underneath. So the crossings, when they come out of, Alameda, when they open up, they are, concrete. So, and I said, well, if they're not concrete, you need to make them concrete, because once you put that bridge on top, there's no way to take care of the vegetation.
And they did that?
Yes.
So basically, it's a win-win for us as far as.
This is one of the difficulties in these jobs, is we brought this to, the alignment to you about a year ago. And we all talked about it and talked about this one crossing and same issues we're talking now, which is understandable. And then it takes that long for it to mature, right? Wow.
Okay, yeah,
Initially, it was
2 years.
2 years ago.
2.5.
But we did get the alignment finally about a year ago to you, and so they gave us instructions to go ahead, and this is the result of it finally. It's a good project, all those crossings he's talking about, which is the way our solution, they volunteered to do it, to help the farmers and the people that are all within what they claim is their right of way.
Right.
So the farmer,
I'd like to commend you guys.
between the farmer and TechStop who owns that property,
Yeah.
but they're gonna line it and they're gonna put a non-restrictive.
The railroad was trying to, I don't know if you guys ever knew that, they were trying to stop them volume crossings.
I wouldn't doubt, I mean, it's.
The
railroad.
At one time, we fought them 2 or 3 times, we got 3 crossings on
Because
it.
that railroad.
So the railroad is a different,
So we got the drain in between,
Right.
but yeah, so this will be adjacent to the shoulders,
just to let you know that and we can have railroads are under a different law.
Right.
And we have the laws favorable to the district. And so railroads have been very cooperative to us, and so I think if you do have any issues, you probably should bring that to us so we can know. And I think you read, I don't have to talk to Renee about it, he did some of the work for me, but, for the district, that there may be, since we service it, there may be an implied that law also would apply to that ditch, even though we don't own it, so I'd have to work with Renee on that. But so far, we haven't had to get to that issue because the railroads have been respectful.
Yeah, because at one time they were real, I don't
Yeah,
know,
they
they
were
did it to
real.
you, right?
But we shared that law with them, and then since we did that.
Right.
yeah, the railroad's been very
They
cooperative,
tried to
UPR has gone on
Right.
to
At the spring.
transition as well.
So you guys should understand, they're the only people that predate us in most of the stuff, and so they got their stuff right after the war. And so we, for the Franklin Canal, it's through a strange juxtaposed, they actually acquired the rights from the state before the Franklin Canal Irrigation Association started, and then they sold it to the city, and then the city sold it to the irrigation thing, so we actually got railroad right away for the Franklin Canal that has the same date that they have, so that's, we're superior there. And these ones are not in terms of date, but we are in terms of statutory law. So it's a,
So we'll come to that, or they try to close them.
well, you should come to the district.
Right.
Yeah, we put some letters out, this one, the one that closed this one here in Clint, off of, what is Coffin Road, right here?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
Harvey Haley, and yeah, and I mean, yeah, we had various meetings, and Dr. Bear was just, I was like, guys, this is crucial for our operation, because
For
we've got
maintenance,
lateral on
right.
both sides, and obviously the farmer, where's the next crossing? We gotta go Webb Road,
Right.
and so they left it open, and Dr. Haley was very happy, but.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
But yes, yeah.
That's a surface crossing and there's safety, but for all of our underground crossings, we obviously.
Yes, the 14 that we did.
Tell the ditch. It doesn't, that law doesn't extend to, well, it extends to streets, but it extends to O&M roads.
It was 2014, I think, when they said they're gonna put a new track 25 feet to the north, so Dr. Bear, we worked with those guys.
They did
and we
really
got-
good.
Yeah, they extended them, which was great for us, because some of our head walls were literally 5 feet from the rail. So, they put a pipe across the entire 100-foot right of way, and, all our stuff was away from the path. And, the contractor
We
did
gotta
an amazing
give
job.
Renee credit, he found that law, so.
Yes.
Well, that's, this type of things was, Jen Spears had a field day with this type of litigation. And the thing is that you guys stay in front of it, and you guys are staying in front of it,
Yeah,
which is
there's-
important, because otherwise, they'll walk all over us.
Yeah, this was mainly, the engagement we had since then, Renee didn't work on the 2014 one, but they were real cooperative on that one. little bit different, but recently, we've had this issue in downtown El Paso, that they just abandoned, they're not gonna build the bridge that they were gonna build, but during that time, Renee supported us in that, they had assigned a lawyer to us, and he found the law that it's, and I don't remember the specific language of it, but that it's supportive of our operations regardless of who was there first. And so, there hasn't been any argument from the railroad committee about that law, we operate under it, so.
It's good to know.
So
Yeah.
it falls under case law.
It's statutory, we just use the
They
statute.
tried to close it. Well, I wish I'd known I could come to you, it would save me some.
It depends on the
Some
specifics.
Some
What do you
thousands
have
of
in
dollars
the railroad?
to
This is where the fault.
Well, you know, that Springer farm, when I bought it, they tried to close the crossing when they found it was in New
Yeah,
York.
they
They
were-
tried
they
to.
were-
Well, is that the crossing over the track for the
Yeah,
cars?
right.
That's a different, I'm talking about canals going under.
Well, there was a ditch going under there.
Yeah, that'll help you.
Well, that's one, and the road was right here, and there was a ditch, and the ditch had been there forever, I don't know.
I don't
Maybe you
know.
could help me, maybe you could.
The ditch,
But
I
I know
think,
to come to you. See, I went to my lawyer instead, and ended up, we beat him back, the railroad company.
we haven't gotten involved in surface crossings, only in subsurface.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this one out here, caught it with, the Clinton lateral was crossing under, but the
Yeah.
railroad, the street crossing happened to be adjacent to our lateral, so they,
So maybe-
and we said, well, we need this crossing because
To
we're
watch.
maintaining the lateral on the other side, we're here in the Clinton lateral.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
that
if
was a couple
if
in
it's
there.
operation of the ditch, if it's needed for operation of the ditch, then we might have,
Yeah.
Or drain ditches?
or drain ditches.
Yeah,
And
we got
any O&M
drains
roads,
inside.
Drains on-
you know, a lot of our subsurface crossings, we don't have any roads on.
Yeah, I
And
know.
so we're stuck with what, we only get, there's only so much that line can do for us.
I'm not kicking that beat.
Well, regarding the shared use path, I mean, I appreciate you guys, what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
working with the other agencies in the county it's a win-win to
Yeah, it
get
is.
it done, and to benefit our constituents from the irrigation district to get something like this to happen. Because I know it's a lot of work to be able to collaborate back and forth and still make it happen. So I know you guys did a lot of work to make this happen. Otherwise, at the end of the day, if we're not on top of it, we could end up being on the losing end of the stick, so we just wanna make sure that we help.
It's a good area, it's been overgrown with vegetation.
It's a
for
great
long time, so
project.
It'll
Yeah.
look a lot better.
We're gonna clean it up, and then there'll be some more. Obviously, this is expanding to Tornillo, and they're gonna go around the town. And in doing so, they're gonna cross a couple of drains in the Tornillo Canal. The good thing on those is essentially, it's gonna fit within the footprint of the roadway, so they're essentially just constructing sidewalks across.
Right.
The Alamosa drain and the
It's a big
Tornillo
project.
drain. and-
I think we're on the
Yeah.
verge of getting the trail done on Alameda too, from the loop down, to what, about 2 miles?
Horizon
Yeah,
Boulevard.
Horizon.
I appreciate you guys staying on top of it.
So that's a good
It's okay,
project
I
too,
can
that's,
make a motion.
again, the trail's primarily in the disputed right of way.
Disputed right
So
of
we
way.
get our canal lined and moved over, we abandoned the dispute, they're happy, we're happy.
Everybody.
Everybody's
And
happy.
we get people out walking
Right.
and can fit, so.
Yeah, everybody has safety, it's a safer,
You'd be amazed at that Tornillo Trail. Have you ever seen it?
No.
That when they built.
when it goes up to the highway.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
straight up.
yeah, O.G. Smith
It-
Road,
yeah.
yeah, that was nice.
That's an exercise.
There's a lot of people, yeah,
A
'cause
lot of people use it.
Yes.
Well, they actually got tornadoes, actually.
I didn't realize I need to go to Las Vegas to get more exercise. In the winter.
Is it like the Terry Fountain stand?
Mike made the motion, we approve this license. Do I hear a second? All right, Larry seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, that one's good, Sharon. Where are we at? Go. I did everything, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, let's see, we've got a couple of things that I think, the chart, let's wait till we go into closed session.
Yeah, if we could take care of Renee's stuff, real
And
quick
let's-
and close.
And go to Renee's and, yeah. All right, need about a 10-minute break? Or everybody okay?
Okay, I don't think Renee, are you still there?
Renee, you still there? You got a time
Yeah.
restraint, Renee?
I'm here.
Okay.
I didn't hear your question, Art.
I was asking if you have a time restraint, if not, I'm gonna take a 10-minute break.
I'm, whatever y'all do is fine with me.
All right, let's take a 10-minute break. and then we're gonna come back in closed session.